Hello from Hever Castle in Kent. We're here in the Garden of England for a summer celebration of sweat and effort in an unforgettable day's racing. This is the Festival of Endurance. Whether it's swim, bike or run you're into, or any combination of the three, there's an event here to make you happy and make you hurt. And when it comes to challenges that put all three together, the festival has some very special triathlons on offer, including the 2018 British Middle Distance Championship. And if around 70 miles of swim, bike and run isn't enough, then the Bastion event provides an iconic iron distance race, bringing the day to a dramatic end in the shadow of the castle itself. With all that to come, it's time to get the racing underway. Here's your commentator, Rob Walker.
Once the seat of the Boleyn family, Hever Castle was the childhood home of Anne before the ill-fated marriage to her monarch, Henry VIII. Passed on through various owners over the centuries, it was bought and restored by American millionaire William Waldorf Astor in 1903. He created a wonderland of gardens, mazes and statues, as well as a 38-acre lake dug out in 1906. It's the setting for the swims today. The Bastion event begins the day. At full iron distance, it will start first and finish last, and presents a massive test with that 2.4-mile swim, 112-mile bike ride and a 26.2-mile marathon run to finish. Lucy Biddleston has won the women's event for the last 2 years, but at this stage any thoughts of a hat-trick will be pushed to the back of her mind. You have to get round before you can think of winning.
I really like this course, and everyone's always really happy on the course with the marshals, so I just really want to enjoy it and have a solid finish rather than getting around and collapsing over the end or anywhere else apart from the end.
Hannah Kolarova was second last year, and the experienced Czech athlete needs to make the most of the swim, Biddleston's weaker event, if she's going to go one better this time.
I'm just kind of trying to stay positive, because I think it's just more about your state of mind, not really like how much you train. Of course it is as well, but you need, like, first your head, you need to know what you're doing, you need to stay focused, and if you are, you can make it. So that's my philosophy, and this is what I'm gonna follow.
I know Hannah's a really good athlete, and I'm sure she's put in a lot of training, and she's quite fierce as well, so she's a really nice girl, so hopefully it'll be a nice kind of like fight between us. So I'm really excited.
With Kolarova expected to be fastest on the 2.4-mile swim, cheered on by her ever-present fans, the defending champion could be playing catch-up all day. Biddleston's partner Michael Lavender is also a race favourite in the men's event, and the Lanzarote-based couple might find the non-wetsuit swim a touch on the bracing side.
We're used to wearing wetsuits in this temperature in the pool all the time, so it's a little bit chilly for us still.
Nice, but yeah, I'm okay. I'd rather have a wetsuit, but it's okay, as long as it's warm.
The waters of Kent will feel warm to most and are familiar to Chris Spencer. A few years ago, he was injured whilst preparing to take part in this race. His presence now shows the quality of his medical treatment. If he finishes, it will be through the power of his mind as well as his muscles.
A few weeks before I was due to do the Bastion here at Hever Castle, I got knocked off my bicycle cycling down a hill. Somebody pulled out of a T-junction, took me out, and I ended up smashing 11 vertebrae, losing an inch in height, load of metalwork, pinning it all together. It was tough times, but one step at a time, get out of bed, start walking, start running, and just move forward.
That's exactly what he'll need to do on this searingly hot day to make the finish before the 11 p.m. deadline.
Why did I sign up to this again? I'm sure there was a good reason at the time. Yeah, I'll tell you when I get out of this as to whether it was a good idea.
At 6 a.m, this first race of the Hever Festival of Endurance gets started. A large section of the swim course takes place on the River Eden, a magical experience for the swimmers and Biddleston's partner Michael Lavender leads the way early on. Next is Kolarova, beating all the men bar one and leaving Lucy Biddleston in her wake. Their friendly pre-race banter is over, but for the next 12 hours this intense rivalry is in full swing, and the Czech is setting out her stall on stage one to the delight of her vociferous fans.
Quite strong in swimming, so I think I will really enjoy swimming and it will not be really difficult for me. So it will be more just like a warm-up.
Losing seconds on every stroke, Biddleston's adrift in the chasing masses. Based at the Stephen and Bella Bayliss training camp in Lanzarote, the pro couple's coaching shows in the swim, Michael Lavender leading out of the water with an excellent time at 58.02. While he's going well, Lucy may be in trouble. Hannah Kolarova is next out with a 1:02.57 first stage. Just over 3 minutes later, experienced French athlete Isabelle Boyer-Moulin is the next woman out. At just after 7 a.m, Michael Lavender is first onto the road today. Facing more than 5 hours in the saddle, it's going to be scorching hot before he gets to the run. More than 10 minutes off the pace of Hannah Kolarova, defending champion Lucy Biddleston will have to use every one of those 112 miles on the bike to make up time. Kolarova's already almost 3 miles down the road. The rest of the race may not be enough to catch her. The Gauntlet event is half the distance of the Bastion. As such, it demands a different tactical approach where transition time can make a massive difference. This year's event doubles up as the 2018 British Middle Distance Triathlon Championships, and it's attracted a strong list of pros heading up the hundreds taking part. Thomas Davis leads after the 1.2-mile swim, but Sam Wade, James Scott Farrington, Will Munday and Sam Pichter are amongst many others contending the national title. In the women's race, Castle Triathlon Series veteran Catherine Jameson is first onto the 56-mile bike. Strong rivals like Elle Twentyman and Rosie Weston in hot pursuit. In the men's gauntlet, Davis drops to second, keeping a track on Sam Wade, who takes a narrow lead.
There is a number of guys on the start list who are, really good racers. I definitely have confidence in my own ability, but my prep leading up to this hasn't maybe been as what I would have liked. So I'm definitely looking behind me people like Sam Pichter, who won the Outlaw I think the other day, who definitely sort of have to keep an eye on.
And it's not long before things are shaken up at the front. Sam Pichter steadily reeling in the leaders, with Will Munday in red here losing 4.
It's a hilly course, so it's a case of get out and swim and just work hard on the bike and then see who's in front when we get to the run. So yeah, I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'm just going to work hard all the way through, I think.
Well, the effort clearly pays off, and pretty soon Pichter's in the lead. He's made up a 4-minute deficit after the swim, perhaps giving hope to the chasing athletes such as Elle Twentyman in the women's event. The leader, Loughborough-based Catherine Jameson, regularly competes at Hever, and she's used to being the hunted athlete.
I've been doing triathlon now for about 7 years. Previously I was a swimmer, but a sprint swimmer, so not the long stuff like I'm doing now. I've had a number of pretty good races, lots of podiums, and yeah, just love doing this race, and the series is really good, so I just enjoy coming to do them.
As does Lucy Biddleston, but it's a longer and more patient race for the Bastion competitors, who are cycling twice as far. As she goes for that third title, Biddleston is beginning to claw back some of the time lost in the swim. She's steadily gaining on the Czech Republic's runner-up last year, Hannah Kolarova, but losing time to Isabelle Boyer-Moulin, the Frenchwoman now in the lead, putting the power down and pulling away. Chris Spencer, meanwhile, has made it through the swim and is onto the bike. no part of the Bastion is easy, but on this second stage, Chris will have an extra dimension to deal with.
Completing anything like this is pretty emotional anyway. You know, cycling around the hills where I had the accident tomorrow, it always brings it straight back. So it will be emotional. It's an incredibly, one, beautiful, but two, brutal course. So if you're going to do one, this is the one to say, yeah, I've achieved the best. The aim is finishing it, crossing the line, and then moving forward.
While the Bastion riders battle on, Gauntlet leader Sam Pichter is off the bike and on to the 13.1 mile two-lap run with a 2-minute lead over Davis and Wade, who are still in pursuit. Both are experienced on this course, familiar with its many challenges as well as its sights, such as Chiddingstone Castle. Pichter is there for his first visit, but some of that energy that carried him into the lead seems less evident on the trails of Hever.
I don't normally enjoy racing in the heat, so I do enjoy the early start, but hopefully by the time it gets properly hot we'll be well through the run.
So is Wade approaching his moment as he pulls away from Davis into a clear second.
In terms of strength, I genuinely progressed through the race. So my swim's not weak, but it's not not the strongest compared to like the top swimmers out there. The bike, I'm solid, I'm pretty strong, one of the strongest, and then the run I think is probably my trump card in a race.
He's looking good and may well have paced himself better than the leader. Pichter will have to dig deep and find inspiration from somewhere. 2 laps of this tough course will decide the British Middle Distance Championships. There will be twice as many for the Bastion contenders, who must maintain the fight until their bodies just can't take any more.
Welcome back to the Hever Festival of Endurance. All the athletes are now out on the course enjoying the journey and challenge that any event here at Hever Castle will provide. And on a day like today, this corner of the Kent countryside is a very special place to be.
And that's exactly what's attracted athletes to take part in the Castle Run series, also holding events today. The Hever Marathon and Half Marathon follow the same run routes as the triathletes with whom they're sharing this rewarding course.
Hope we keep our mind off the running, actually looking around and seeing how beautiful it is. Just wanted to enjoy the atmosphere, really.
With another 7,000 expected for September's Hever Castle Triathlon, it's a popular venue for swim and bike as well as run. Over the year, William Astor's Lake is well used, and the Castle Swim Series comes here for a night event in September. Today's Festival of Endurance offers testing swims too, including a 10K endurance challenge. Swim run and swim bike events are also available, perfect for those who wish to get a feel for multi-sport. By now, the festival's in full swing, with the leading Gauntlet athletes also on the run course and closing in on the finish. Pichter has lost the lead. Wade already coming in to win the Gauntlet race and the British Middle Distance Championships for 2018.
I knew Sam was the man to beat probably, and then he showed that on the bike and I was a bit worried. I kind of thought that's probably first place gone, but luckily I just stuck to my task on the run, paced it well, and I managed to come through in the end to win, so I'm really, really pleased.
Pichter hung on bravely for second.
It's tough. The bike course is beautiful, but the run is just up and down. There's no let up.
Davis raced hard on the swim and bike, but couldn't hang on to Wade on the run. The champion will be back for the 10th anniversary of the Hever Castle Triathlon in September, as will the winner of the women's race, Catherine Jameson.
I actually had a bit of a mechanical not far onto the bike, so I was sort of nursing my bike around that first lap. When it was secure about the second lap, I managed to really push on and put some time in. I had really great support out there from other runners, people doing the marathon, everything, the half marathon, so it just really kept me going.
A close race for second sees Claire Weller take silver from a fading Kate McTeer. And as the afternoon goes on, more and more of the 1,500 competitors across all the events can celebrate reaching the finish.
This is brilliant. I'm just so over the moon with this, and I feel so good. I really do. Thank you so much, Castle Series. Thank you.
The course was beautiful. It was quite hilly. Just as much as I enjoyed it, I'm glad to be finished now.
Oh my God, great day. Great day. Tough course, but came all the way from the United States holiday and then wanted to do this race.
It's amazing what support we got from the marshals out there, especially at the feed stations and on pinch points and everything, where they're just giving us so much support when we needed it most.
This is 10 times better than any road race. You know what? 4 laps of pure beauty.
Yeah, I've done it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
For those starting the run in the iron distance event, the Bastion, things are getting tough. The end of the bike brings no respite, something the defending women's champion learnt on her first Bastion 2 years ago.
Then you get out on the run and you go out and you start off on this nice little flat bit and then suddenly it kicks up. And I said to the marshal stood on the corner, I was like, are you sure we go up here? And she was like, yeah, this is where you go. I was like, oh, okay. So it's nice and hilly, but it's the best run ever.
Biddleston is second heading out onto the run. After the bike, she lost even more time against French leader Isabelle Boyer-Moulin. It's not destined to be Hana Kolarova's day. The heat has taken its toll on the athlete from the Czech Republic who led so impressively at the start. She's out. All Lucy Biddleston can do is run her race and wait to get some lap splits to see if she's gaining on the Frenchwoman. In the men's event, her partner Michael Lavender is feeling the heat. He's dropped to second after the bike, and leader Sean Stanfield is pulling away. Behind Lavender, Sam Walsh is looking strong too. Back on her feet at last, Hana Kolarova walks back to the event village as the race leader laps her. Hana's day is over. Lapping at a consistent pace, Moulin still looks strong, but as Kolarova's crash demonstrates, and as all these women know, this kind of racing is unpredictable.
First year I had a great run. My second year I completely exploded but finished. So it's the best person wins on the day, especially in long distance. You've got to race your own race and hope for the best.
Biddleston is running faster at the moment, but at this pace the finish line might just come too late. The French athlete has grounds to be confident. It's a hard period of the race for Lavender too. He's dropped to third behind Sam Walsh and has to hope he can hold on for the last podium position. Running an impressive final stage, Stanfield is hurting but heading for the win. As the elite titles play out, the rest of the field are heading on to the run. Some of them will still be on course as the summer night settles in. This includes the many fundraisers, more than 60 Macmillan athletes motivated by raising £250,000 for their cause. Family support can be essential too, cheerleaders of all shapes and sizes. Chris Spencer is going well enough to beat the deadline, but only just. And while he may prove to be the last Bastion finisher, the first is Sean Stanfield. After taking the lead on the bike stage, he cements the win with a strong run. Second goes to Sam Walsh. And Michael Lavender does indeed hang on for third.
The run course, I wasn't quite expecting that, to be honest. That was really tough. It was just hang on.
What a scenario here at the climax of the women's Bastion. Less than half a mile to go. Lucy Biddleston has slowly and surely eroded the lead enjoyed by Isabelle Moulin, the Frenchwoman. and now she has her in her sights. Remember, she was at one stage 18 minutes down at the start of this marathon run. She's grimacing, but she's the one in the ascendancy. This is going to be the nightmare scenario for this gutsy Frenchwoman. Can she hang on here? Biddleston bidding for a hat-trick of titles here at Hever, and in the most brutal of conditions. She's never given up. She's got a couple of metres. What a finish to this race after 140 miles of racing. Swimming, biking and running, there's still virtually nothing separating them. What a performance, what heart and what guts from Biddleston. She never gave up. What a way to seal her third title. She has tamed the Bastion and conquered this formidable Frenchwoman Moulin. Lucy Biddleston takes it. The agony of second place, just 6 seconds behind for Isabelle Moulin. What a race and what a finish. That must surely be the most memorable of all 3 of Biddleston's victories. She left it so late.
I didn't think I'd be able to do it, but yeah, it was really, really good. I thought she had it. I thought, oh, I've not got this. And then I thought, well, just get a time that you're proud of for yourself. And then there's that straight bit that goes down the middle. And I saw her in the distance and I was like, oh, do I go for it? And she looked strong as well. So I just sort of put my head down and gritted my teeth and went. And I've been training with my boyfriend for the last just over half a year. So he's been killing me in training. So it was just like that.
The race was fantastic. For me, I like the hilly course. Very amazing place, and for me it's new, and a lot of people was very friendly.
What an amazing day's racing we've had here at Hever. We have had drama in every single race and in every single discipline, building of course to that sensational sprint finish. But for the hardiest, the race isn't over yet. There are still the last laps remaining of the Bastion to be conquered.
Well, the battle to make it to the finish line continues long into the evening. Some limping, some celebrating, all deserving the right to say they have come and tamed the beast, the Bastion. And how fitting that the last official finisher just inside the 17-hour cut-off is Chris Spencer. 16 hours, 47 minutes of effort. What a finale to this festival of endurance.